We are counting down the 7 most critical hacking methods threatening businesses and individuals today. From technical attacks that can freeze your revenue to clever scams even professionals miss, each entry reveals what cybercriminals hope you overlook, and the practical steps you can take right now to block them. Which threat ranks as the most urgent to stop? Let us start with number 7. A DDoS attack hits like a sudden traffic jam. Thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of hijacked devices flood a website with fake requests. In seconds, the site slows to a crawl or disappears entirely. For online stores and services, every minute offline means lost sales, frustrated customers, and eroded trust. Attackers use botnets to launch these floods, sometimes reaching multi-gigabit levels of traffic that overwhelm even large hosting providers. The fastest way to stop this is to activate DDoS protection through your hosting provider or a service like Cloudflare, Akamai, or AWS Shield. These services filter out malicious traffic before it ever reaches your site. Adding rate limits on your server blocks suspicious spikes from single sources. For extra insurance, set up failover DNS or backup hosting, so if one server goes down, another can take over instantly. With these steps, even the biggest botnet cannot keep your business offline. Brute force attacks are relentless. Automated tools blast through millions of password guesses every minute, targeting login pages and online accounts with dictionary lists and stolen credentials from past data breaches. It only takes 1 weak or reused password to open the door. 81% of breaches involve credentials that are easy to guess or already exposed elsewhere. Attackers often recycle old passwords from leaks, testing them across dozens of popular sites in seconds. The fastest way to stop this is to use a password manager that creates and remembers unique long passwords for every account. Set your accounts to lock out after 5 failed attempts. This blocks most bots before they get close. Audit your accounts for reused passwords and change them immediately. With these habits, brute force attacks lose their power before they even start. A Trojan hides in plain sight, disguised as a harmless download, like a free game, a productivity tool, or a fake software update. Once you install it, attackers gain a secret backdoor into your computer. Remote access Trojans, spelled RATS, let them watch your screen, steal your files, and even control your webcam. These programs do not spread on their own. They need you to click and install, which is why attackers work hard to make them look legitimate. The safest way to avoid Trojans is to download only from official app stores or from trusted vendor websites. Before running new software, check for a digital signature. Legitimate apps are signed by the developer. Install a modern endpoint protection program that can spot suspicious behavior, not just known viruses. Use a regular non-administrator account for daily work. If a Trojan slips through, it will not have the power to take over your system. Malware does not need a flashy entrance to do damage. Keyloggers run quietly in the background, capturing every password, credit card number, and private message you type, with no pop-ups and no warning signs. Spyware tracks your browsing, watches what files you open, and sends it all to attackers. Cryptojacking is even sneakier. It hijacks your computer's power to mine cryptocurrency, overheating laptops, draining batteries, and running up your electric bill. Some cryptomining malware has burned out phones or caused hardware failures in businesses. These infections can lurk for months, stealing data or wearing down your devices. The fastest way to stop them is to install a modern antivirus or endpoint protection program and schedule regular full system scans. Enable automatic updates so new vulnerabilities are patched before malware can exploit them. Remove unused browser extensions. Malicious add-ons are a common entry point. With these habits, most malware never gets a foothold. Number 3. Payroll diversion scam. Payroll diversion scams strike at the heart of a business by targeting the people who handle paychecks. An attacker impersonates an employee or a trusted vendor, often using details scraped from LinkedIn to sound convincing. They contact human resources or payroll, claiming there is an urgent need to reroute direct deposit information, maybe a new bank account or a recent promotion. If the request is not double-checked, entire paychecks can vanish into accounts controlled by criminals, sometimes within minutes. The fastest way to block these scams is to insist on a callback to verify any payroll or payment changes. Never rely on email or caller ID alone. Always use a phone number from your official directory not one provided in the request. Set clear escalation policies so no single person can approve major changes without a second check. Regular role-specific training for human resources and finance staff turns them into the strongest line of defense. When these steps become routine, payroll diversion scams lose their power. Lockbit ransomware attacks can bring an entire business to a halt in hours. Once inside, the malware encrypts files across every connected system and then demands a ransom for the decryption key. But Lockbit goes further. Before locking your data, it quietly steals sensitive files and then threatens to leak them if you refuse to pay. This double extortion tactic has made Lockbit responsible for more ransomware claims than any other group in recent years. Without reliable backups, recovery can take weeks, if it happens at all. The most effective shield is the backup rule known as 3-2-1. Keep 3 copies of your data on 2 different types of storage, and store 1 copy offline or in a cloud account that attackers cannot reach. Test your backups by restoring files every quarter. Do not just save them. Segment your network so ransomware cannot spread unchecked. With these steps, you can restore your business and avoid paying extortionists. AI-generated phishing emails are now flooding inboxes at record speed, up 1,265% since 2022. These messages mimic real brands perfectly, using flawless grammar and details scraped from social media. Attackers do not just want passwords, they're after your multi-factor authentication codes too, using real-time relay attacks to bypass even SMS verification. The only proven way to block these takeovers is to use a hardware security key, like a YubiKey or Titan, for all critical accounts. Hardware key multi-factor authentication blocks 99% of phishing attacks, even when codes are stolen. Do not rely on SMS or authenticator apps alone. Use a password manager that only autofills on real sites, and make sure your email provider has SPF, DKIM, and DMARC enabled to block spoofed messages. The fastest, highest impact move you can make is to enable hardware key multi-factor authentication today. We've come to the end of today's video. If you learned something new, I'd be happy about a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on upcoming ones.